In this video, I will be ranking all 6 golden skins in TDS, which cost 50,000 gold per crate. Which ones are trash and which ones are OP. Remember to like and subscribe, and let's get into it. It's hard to choose, but I think the worst golden skin is the Golden Scout. The Golden Scout's main purpose is early game single target DPS and nearly nothing else, and it does a good job at this, with level 0 having some insane cost efficiency, with you spending $250 for 2.5 DPS. For reference, $250 of Golden Soldier would get around 1.6 DPS. It has one detection, hidden, which gets at level 2, which isn't bad, being just over $1,000 in total for it. A major problem with Golden Scout is the range, as if you're spamming level 0 or level 1 Golden Scouts you won't have that much space, and the low 12 range is only amplified with the mediocre spots. The cost efficiency rapidly declines after level 1, leaving you with almost 1.5x worse cost efficiency than level 0. At this point, getting something like Pursuit that has infinite range, or Elementalist that can deal with crowds would be better than a low range single target Golden Scout. There are very few situations in which Golden Scout is the best choice, when infinite or long range towers are better for single target killing, and crowd control towers are better for everything else. Level 0 Pursuit, which costs only $3,000, does 17 DPS, having 170 cost efficiency, which is only a little bit worse than max Golden Scout, while also having infinite range. Golden Scout is mostly used as a long-range brawler at level 0, being extremely cost-efficient single-target damage while also having at least some range. But unlike Brawler, Golden Scout cannot scale well into the late game or even mid-game due to its mediocre range and DPS at max. Golden Quick Boss and Golden Soldier also fill most of the niches Golden Scout attempts to fill, while scaling well into the mid-game and even late game. The second worst golden skin is the Golden Soldier, which is pretty much just Golden Scout but with more range and flying detection. It starts off with 14 range, more than Gold Mini, and by level 2 it has more range than max Golden Scout. The cost efficiency chart looks like this. Early game is a lot worse than Golden Scout, with the drop off at max not being as significant as Gold Scout. At max it only has 30 worse cost efficiency than max Golden Scout, which is pretty good because it has 3 more range than it, but it's also pretty bad because it can't get majorly buffed by Commander. Yeah, that really sucks. Because of the burst mechanic in which Soldier shoots, Commander's fire rate buff does nothing to it. So all that about Golden Soldier being able to scale into the mid game and late game is basically not. It's a last resort option when you have nothing else to place. But Golden Soldier's flying detection, which is its main use. You can use it in hardcore if you don't want to use Ace Pilot for some reason. I guess it has hidden and flying both at the same time, so it can do both wave 10 invisibles and wave 12 balloons at once. I can't really think of any other use cases, but comment below if you can think of any that can't be replaced by a different tower. The fourth best golden skin is the Golden Minigunner. This is the only golden tower that was made to deal late game DPS, being a low range single target ground DPS dealer. The Golden Minigunner is pretty good cost efficiency at its early levels, though it has similarly low range to the Golden Scout, having only 13 range at level 0. The problem of having a spammable tower with low range persists from Golden Scout, with a 15 max limit on Gold Mini. Besides being decent for mid game, level 3 and max are both way less cost efficient than level 1, and max has 2.25 full seconds of rev up time, meaning you lose 500 damage every time it has to rev up. The rev up mechanic is also bad for it because Golden Minigunner is just so stunnable. It has no anti-stun measures, and because there's so many of them usually packed together and close to the track due to its low range, it's easy pickings for the enemies to stun. And then the stun basically lasts 2.25 seconds longer due to the rev, like accelerators charging up. This is one of the worst parts about Gold Mini. Why even use it when Pursuit, Ranger, and Engineer are stun resistant and have much more range? However, Golden Minigunner does have a few uses, mainly in solo and duo. Its capability to deal over 3,000 DPS supportless with one tower slot can't be understated, and that's why it's used in solo polluted wastelands too, where you can micro freely with the basically infinite amount of cash that you have, mitigating the low range of it. The third best golden skin is the Golden Cowboy. This tower gives you money while attacking, being the only economy tower besides farm in the game. This tower is pretty complicated, but basically level 0 to 2 do a decent amount of DPS and give you a good amount of money. Level 3 has hidden detection and good damage while not giving much cash. Level 4 is somewhat of a cash level, and level 5 is worst of all trades. It has bad money making and damage dealing. The cost efficiency isn't very good, but it's balanced out by the cash it generates, and something like level 1 with 220 cost efficiency and good money making could quickly make enough money to pay itself off while doing damage. Level 3 Golden Cowboy is also surprisingly strong, able to do things like beat wave 25 in solo core. Oh yeah, solo hardcore, that's where this tower is used, and solo fallen. Golden Cowboy can make solo fallen extremely easy, and I even guided Souls to a victory while he was blindfolded using the unit. On the topic of solo hardcore, this tower's been used for it since literally the first victory ever in 2022. Up until today in 2025, it's still used. The Golden Cowboy is only really useful in solo or duo due to you being forced to split the damage money with your teammate, and farm just being better for eco and trio plus. It can also be used as sub DPS if you maxed everything else, due to it having almost 100 DPS. The second best golden skin in TDS is the Golden Crook Boss. It spawns a plethora of Gooner units to fight for you, along with doing its own damage. This tower is so extremely versatile and competent in what it does. For reference, at level 0, the Golden Crook Boss has 80 cost efficiency with the DPS of its guard. Golden Scout has 20 worse cost efficiency. And the thing is, the Gold Crook doesn't really fall off at later levels. At max with one Tommy Goon, it has 130 cost efficiency, better than max Golden Scout, and multiple units can spawn. Also, the Golden Crook Boss gets both hidden and flying detection at level 2, with its goons having them from level 0. The Tommy Goons don't have flying though, which is weird. One single max Golden Crook Boss killed the Gravedigger this quickly. I don't really have any comments to that, I just wanted to show you it. So basically, more cost efficient than Golden Scout whenever it has goons, has flying detection and hidden detection at level 2, has more range than Golden Scout, and is able to scale well into the mid game and late game perfectly, which was most pronounced in the Hexcape event where this tower literally dominated. When me and Souls played the event, we called the Golden Crook Boss old reliable in terms of how much we used it. But even with all this gassing up I'm doing, there are a few drawbacks. First of all, if you're on a map where stacking units is overly difficult, this tower is heavily debuffed, and you might as well use something else. You also have to manage the stack, at times skipping the wave to let the enemies go into the range to stop the units from moving. The Golden Crook Boss is a jack of all trades, and it's bad for modes like Hardcore or Fallen where you don't particularly need early game and mid game DPS, when you could optimize and bring a support or DPS tower. Overall, this tower is really good, but there's one better Golden Tower. The Golden Pyromancer is undoubtedly the best Golden Tower in TDS, being a crowd control menace for over 5 years. LeBron legacy, I know. The Golden Pyromancer is a low-range crowd control tower that uses a flamethrower that pierces enemies, doing burn damage over time. It has hidden detection and lead detection at level 0, and it's the undisputed meta for hardcore early game, easily beating waves like 7, 10, 13, and 14, and massively helping with waves like 17, 20, 25, and more. Without the Gold Pyro, you'd have to rely on other options like Electroshocker, Trapper, and not really much else I can think of. After early game, the Pyromancer then turns into a damage farmer, doing a total of 320 damage on every enemy it touches, and reducing defense by 50%, crippling enemies like the Soul King, Fallen Guardian, Vindicator, and more which rely on it. Golden Pyromancer is useful in every single mode because it simply does damage and melts defense to every single enemy that spawns, if you put it at the entrance. Anyways, like and subscribe, and comment below if you think I'm wrong and should be hung in the gallows for my sins.